Woo! Okay, everybody. Listen, we decided to keep the new stuff. So we got real grown. We got a little background music now. We're trying to brand it up. And so I just want to welcome you out this evening. So this is another version of what I like to do, Give It to the People Live. So anybody that doesn't know about Give It to the People, my company is called Give It to the People. And we are a mental wealth company that is focused on helping entrepreneurs really live their best life, get to the bag, secure the bag, make sure that they also understand that they need to look at themselves and their mental health with that. So we want you to get the money, but we also want you to make sure that your mind is right as well. So in doing that, we decided that because it is National Minority Mental Health Month, that we were going to focus on one special minority. And that minority is going to be coming on the screen really soon with us, right? And I wanted to pick somebody that I really, like, but somebody that also I know their story, and I don't even know all of their story, okay? But somebody that I've known for years because I felt like she is the type of person that you guys definitely need to hear from, okay? So I'm going to go turn this down a little bit, right? And what we're going to do right now is we're going to jump into tonight. And tonight we are bringing up somebody that's really awesome. And I just want to kind of introduce you to one person first before we get to our guest, because this is my co-host. So anybody that doesn't know her, this is Tammy Faye. Tammy Faye Tambourine Brown. When people say good things, honey, Tammy Faye, she wants to come out and she wants to shout so that this way you can get that reiteration and you know that this is a moment that you need to be a part of. So she'll come out every now and then, right? And sometimes I'm so into the mood that I forget to bring Tammy out, and people like, where is Tammy? So I wanted to make sure that you see my co-host Tammy out here this evening. And guess who I am? So I'm Chisa Pennix-Brown, and I am the chief curator for Give It to the People. And so that means that I am here to make sure that the events that we do are something that people want to attend, something that is always going to give you an experience, because that's what we're about here, right? It's not just about you having tangible things, but it's about you feeling good. And so for me, that's one of the things that I try to pride ourselves on with everything that we do, whether it's educational or whether it's something that's fun. So tonight is going to be a combination of that, okay? Now, my guest right here, I'm going to let her introduce herself, but let me tell you, her brother is one of my best friends. And, by default, that means that she's one of my best friends too, right? And the thing about this is that I met her brother in high school, and I just knew we were going to be friends. And we've been friends since been friends, okay? So we talk about more than 20 years going on this, right? And so I think that it's a testament when you have a friend and then you like their sibling so that you become friends too. So it's so much that we're going to get into this evening. But Okema McRae, go ahead and say hello to the people tonight.
Hello, everyone. I am so excited to be here. That was such an amazing introduction to me. Like, I was about to grab my little clinics over here.
But no, I want you to tell them who you are. But I think that's what I'm saying. Like, you're not friends with everybody, right? And then when you talk about over 20 years and you talk about seeing people grow, and just still being friends after all of this time to the point where you connect. And just in case you guys don't know, what we do is we send crazy messages back and forth on crazy and inspirational messages on Instagram on a regular basis. So this is how you keep your friendship together, right? Because you want to always let people know you're thinking about them. And, this is one thing that we do. So tell them who you are, give them a little bit of background about you, and then we're going to jump all the way in.
Yes. So, as Chisa said, I am Okema McRae. I am a mother, a wife, a sister, a friend, and in my I guess physical life, my life where I have fun, and in my business life, I am a realtor, and I also do organizational change management.
Mhm.
So yeah, so that's just a little bit about me, just in a nutshell about who I am.
Yes.
And I am so excited to be here tonight to talk about this amazing topic. Thank you for inviting me.
You are welcome because the thing is, I think that and anybody that knows me knows, honey, me and Jesus, that's my friend, okay? That's my homeboy. And I think that when you can share uh just the goodness of things and people understand it, right? It makes a big difference. And so I think that it's kind of like a spiritual bond kind of thing too. And then it's just so many things. And I'm gonna tell you something now. Me and her have commonalities that unfortunately have led us to where we're at in our mental wealth journey. Both of our moms have passed, and technically mine is my grandmother, but that's who raised me. Kim's mom passed at the end of last year. And let me tell you something. I just have to say this. Her Mama Grace, okay? She did not play games. And she was the type of mom that you knew that she was going to be there. She was going to put you in stuff. She was going to make sure people knew how great her kids were. She was going to be there to support. So if you were missing or lacking in any type of way, she was going to straighten you out. And so that right there was something that was awesome to me. And it was something that at the funeral that I did not know. And I'm sitting in the back just crying. And when they said Delois, right? Everybody
Yes.
called my mom Delois too. So
Really?
I didn't tell you that, but when they
I
said
didn't
it,
know.
I was just like, so
Oh
like on
my
her side, they would call her Delois, and I just was sitting there like,
God.
oh my God. Like that right there was one of those things that I didn't even know that we had
Mhm.
in common. And I
Yeah.
just was like, this is crazy. So I held that just so I could tell you that today. But
Awesome.
that was one of those connections that you don't even who even knows that, you know what I'm saying, who knows that kind of thing. So I just wanted to just tell you we were connected probably before we even knew each other, like in that way.
That's
And
beautiful.
and so with this today, I'm just going to start there because you have this is what I'm going to say, you have a before grace and you have an after grace, right? Like this is
Right.
the change.
Yes.
So when people are going through things and they've had to have this transition, what has been your journey?
Well, it has been a journey, and this has been a transition. I would say that first of all, you have to do some self assessing.
Mm,
That's what I had to do. I had to figure out, I thought about and I literally asked myself these questions like, who am I now at this
mhm,
moment, and then who do I want to become,
mm,
now that things have changed, in my life. And
mhm,
then how do I get there?
mm,
What do I do to even try to figure out how to get there? So those are the things that really, that's what stood out to me in the very beginning,
mhm,
when I was going through it, when it was happening, even when she, kind of got sick. It was like all
yeah,
those were the three things that I asked myself. But, as the process was going on and when she, finally transitioned. So yeah, so that was the starting
mhm,
point for me, and I started thinking about what things that I could do in that moment, like pulling out things from the archives, trying to figure out
mhm,
what can I do to help myself in this moment,
mhm,
to try to keep it together,
mhm.
because it wasn't just about me.
Yeah.
It was about my children. It was about my family, my husband, my brother, my
Mhm,
sister-in-law. What do I do? Because
mhm.
now I felt like, okay, this is on. It's me
Yeah.
now. It was me, and one thing she even told me in her sickness at one time is that I was ready. She said, "You're
Mm,
ready." I was like, "What am I gonna do? You know,
mm.
without you, you got to get better." And she was like, "You're ready."
Wow.
And even with that, I was like, "Am I really though?"
I knew I
you
should have
know.
bought my tissues. Okay, I'm trying. So listen, everybody, me and Kim, we had this conversation beforehand, and I told her, I said, I'm gonna try my best not to cry, because after losing my mom, like it's just a hard thing, right? And you have these waves of emotion that come at different times. You have the yes, you need to be in charge of something, right? But for you, I would say kind of a little bit different too, because you are the matriarch of your immediate family, but now in your unit, you become the matriarch of that as well, right? And so I think, do you feel like you had more responsibility when she said you're ready, or do you just feel like it was like, okay, no, I'm going to step up? It's not a more responsibility, it's just this is what I'm here to do. Well, how did you feel about that?
It was a little bit of both.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think I felt at first it was like, oh, I don't want all that responsibility.
Oh, that's
I
right.
like to have too much fun for that. That's gonna be a lot. I can't do that. I can't do that. But then it was also like, oh, I have to do that. You know, I can't drop everything that she's done, all that she has poured into me all these years,
Mm-hmm.
and just let it just go. You know, I gotta do this.
Yeah.
I have to be that person. She's telling me it's my turn. Basically, that's the way I felt about
Mm-hmm.
it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because for all that time, I feel like I was always her child.
Mm-hmm.
And when
Yep.
she was here physically, I was her child. But now, like I said, that question of who am I now, like
Mm-hmm.
I had to figure out, well, who am I? Who is Okima? Who is Kim? You know, what do I do now? Who am
Mm-hmm.
I gonna be that yes, I'm still her child, but now I'm not, she's not here.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
have her to look at and like, oh, that's my mom, It's like,
Mm-hmm.
no, it's me.
Yeah. Yeah. And I completely know, and I completely understand it. And and I told I did another podcast, an interview with somebody else, and I was telling them, I still have my mom's number in my phone, and I have not brought myself to take it out. And I don't know when I'm going to take it out, and I don't dial it, but just seeing that little teeny weeny head, like right there in the phone, it's like you have certain reminders. So I think, people deal with things differently, right? And so, one of the things that I know that, we talked about is some people need somebody else to talk to in order to make things become for this new version of you, right? The after. So, what did you do, therapy wise, family wise, work wise, in order to be able to get to where you're at now?
I'm gonna go through a plethora of things. So one thing I will say that my mom was big on. She was very positive,
Mm-hmm.
and one of her favorite things she would say is click your heels like Dorothy and keep it moving. Right,
Yeah.
that was something I had to go.
Mm-hmm.
I had to keep it moving. So I joined some online communities of prayer. I continued to serve like my nonprofit that me and her we used to serve my nonprofit once a month. I continued to do those things.
Okay.
I started a new health journey, started going to the spa, and really just taking days of rest. But in order to get there, as far as like what you're talking about, like kind of the people that I kind of partner with to do that, when I first, like I would say a year before this whole, my mom got sick and things like that, and it's, God works in amazing ways.
Set you
He
up.
sent me this group,
Mm-hmm.
and it was called I joined this challenge with a friend of mine,
Okay.
Renee Bradford, and it was called the Rise and Build Challenge. And so in that group, we focused on journaling and praying. And so I began to journal and write like a year or so before this even happened.
Wow.
So, and that helped me. So I picked that back up, and
Okay.
that helped me with to talk it through to myself about who I am now, like who I was in this moment. When she got sick, I started really heavily journaling.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I was journaling, but I wasn't heavily journaling. But I now started heavily journaling again, like
Okay.
already like who I am, who am I now,
Mm-hmm.
and then after I kind of went through those steps, I began to think about who I wanted to become.
Mm-hmm.
Who I want to be if something happens, who am I going to become? So I began working with a good friend, another friend of mine who did some career coaching.
Mm-hmm.
And so I began to work with her out at Willis Consulting. And what she began to teach me how to discover who I wanted to be in
Mm-hmm.
that whole business realm. I also came to Miss Chisa Pennix-Brown, all her amazing networking events, which also helped me to to be to come into my own, as far as who I wanted to be in business. And then from a therapy perspective, I began to talk to my therapist as soon as my mother got sick. And I didn't do it by myself because I am not by myself in this. I brought my spouse into it because he needed to understand how to support me while I was going through that. I didn't even know what I was going to do. I had no idea, if I was going if I was going to lose my mind, what I was going to do, but I needed him to be there so he could understand the strategies too and support me through that. So I have to give a shout out to Lakeside Psychotherapy and Wellness here in Charlotte, who actually helps me and Dante, and still helps me. We still do that today, where we meet with our therapists and talk about those strategies and things that I can do to help me do the inner work that I need to do to get to keep on going. To just and so I will tell anybody, you
Word.
have to have people to talk to.
You do, and that right there is a word. Let me get Tammy out. Okay, come on.
I love Tammy. I'm glad she's here.
Let me tell you though, and you have something that I have that everybody doesn't have. So when you have a spouse, and not just a spouse, because there's a lot of people that just have somebody that's in the house with them, but you have a spouse that is caring, loving, and supportive, and wants
Absolutely.
to help you be the best person that you can be. That right there is something special, and everybody doesn't have that. So when you said that we're doing it together so that this way he can understand, we did some therapy stuff together too, so I understand um the necessity of, it's not just friends, but it's also who's in your household. And I think
Yeah.
it does make a huge impact on your level of, and I don't even want to call it recovery, because some people passing, it's never like a recovery from that, but you being able to at least discuss, okay, well, who do you want to be, right? And in knowing who asking yourself that question, it puts you in the frame of mind of, that I'm going through something and that I'm transitioning, right? And so in that
Right.
transition, we need to see what dynamic that we have going on with our relationship, because there are some things that I need for you to do to support me as well. So with this, and you do your career coaching, you come to the wonderful Give It to the People event, right? You're out here, you're like, okay, I want to do these things. What made you say, I am definitely going to do this now, and I know now that this is who I want to be?
Yeah. So I felt like I had to become the legacy.
Oh,
My mother was already a force.
definitely.
That's, yeah. So I was like, okay, I can't let all of that work, all of that energy she put into me and my brother, it cannot be in vain. She poured so much into us. But I was like, okay, now I got to become the legacy. She did her thing. And she left a mark on her community, on the
Yes.
people's lives she touched, her family, her friends. So I felt like I had to become the legacy.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what started and catapulted me into this. I feel like I've accelerated like completely and totally. And you know me
Mm-hmm.
from just coaching me in different businesses that
Mm-hmm.
we've been doing this for a minute.
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
but
When you
in
find the
different,
thing for you, it's,
right.
you know what? I just want to tell you, I'm proud of you,
Thank you.
because I see your posts online. Okay. I see you doing your events. And it's not that you haven't done events before, but you are very, from what I can tell, laser focused on not just, I'm starting a business, I'm doing this business, I want money for me. But one of the things that you reiterate that I see is building that legacy, but that generational wealth also.
Absolutely.
So, tell them about the kids, because I told Kim, I said, she a whole African queen, honey, because she would have been
Ah,
the top of the village, honey, because all boys, right? So
oh, boys. Oh my
you had
God.
to go through all of that and still be who you are, still
Yeah.
work, still, be a wife and all of that, and then have boys to have to say, we want a legacy for you too, right? So
Yeah.
what is that like, being able to recognize it, and then not only help yourself, but try to help other people to understand that they can build a legacy as well?
It is it's just so exciting to me.
Mhm.
I'm finally excited about something, the way I'm able to do this business. And it's so exciting to share with other people just the things I learn on a day-to-day basis,
Mhm.
about how to help them in different facets. Like, it may not be, I feel like you can get to, as you say, the bag many different ways. So
Yep.
you can get to that home, or that, or whatever that is you're trying to acquire, many different ways. It's not just one way to get there. And I take the time and I explore those different ways. I tell, my clients, the ones that are ready, the ones that may not be, exactly ready on paper,
Yep.
that you never give up. Like, I was at that point. I researched for like a year, and got myself, even when I was buying my house, I had to do some things before I could even get my own house,
Mhm.
years ago when I did it. So,
Mhm.
no one is exempt from a journey. I don't think no one is exempt from having to learn a lesson or whatever before you get to the bag or the prize or whatever. So I am excited right now about being able to help people through the process. That to me brings me like the most joy out of anything. Is past the house for me. It's not just about the house anymore. It's about that, like you said, building that generational wealth and helping people understand that. And the people that come to me, they're like, I want to leave something for my grandchildren. I want to leave something for my children. That's what they want to do. And I feel like that they come to me with that kind of messaging because that's the messaging I'm giving out too.
Yep.
So I'm glad that it's resonating.
Mhm.
um, and I hope to continue. And I love what I do. I love the way I do it. I know it will evolve, but right now I really love this, and I know that it is totally making my mama proud, because she would always say, "Girl, you need to do a workshop. Girl, you need to do it this."
Uh-huh. Because let
And
me
I,
say, your mama will put something together. And you know what?
right.
When I think about it, I sit up and I was like, you know what? If I had her like a regret, me and her were supposed to do something with the AARP. Okay.
Oh, that
And I just
AARP
did
girl.
not get down to do that AARP thing. But
Woo.
I did do some classes down at Alamance, and your mom was there in them classes, right?
Yeah.
Just
Yes.
learning and just absorbing. And it's like a wonderful thing for a person that is, I like to call them seasoned, right? A little bit more
Yeah.
seasoned, to
Mhm.
come and want to continually learn. And so
Yeah.
that is in your DNA, just like it's in Donnell's DNA, right? In order to
Mhm.
want to continually learn things, but then also to then share it with other people. So it's not a selfish thing that's there. But I do want to say with this, you are in a state where you are every day manifesting what you want, and that law of attraction that people talk about, I truly believe that that is an important factor, because you are attracting the type of people that want what you're telling them that they should want, right? And so
Mhm.
you can be a realtor and somebody can say that they want a house, want a house, want a house, but if they're not going to do the work to get into the house, that's not going to be your person. The people
Right.
that come to you understand that they do want to build that legacy, and that they are going to have to work to make it happen. And that is something that you are attracting. You are bringing that into your atmosphere. And, I just always tell people, I like to prophesy. I prophesy that that's going to be the type of business that you are just going to have. People are going to understand that if you want more and you want to do better, and you also want to have property, but you put out things that are thinking about stuff that, like, I just look at it and it's like I wasn't even thinking about that, like, and she's trying to make you decorate houses online, and she's telling you about, you are not doing what everybody else is doing in relation to being a realtor, right? So I believe in the power of words. And what your title says is your trusted advisor. What made you pick that title? Because I feel like that's a word right there. So what made you pick that? Because that's more than a realtor. You know what I mean?
It is. And I had to do this exercise that my career coach told me to do. And so shout out to my village. I have to say that because my village sits through all of everything that I have them sit through. We go through exercises together. So how I got to this name,
Uh-huh.
um, it actually spawned from a exercise that I had to do,
Okay.
and I had to uh, get people to tell me something about me.
Mm.
Everybody that knows me knows I don't even like talking about myself. That's why my intro was so like, I'm this, I'm that, I'm this. I don't talk about myself as
Yeah,
much
you
as
had
I
the
probably
bullet points. You had the bullet points down,
yeah, I hit the
but
highlights. I hit the
no.
highlight.
Yeah, there you go.
So when I did this exercise and I asked my friends how they saw me,
Mm-hmm.
they gave me different. I said, just give me one words. Like, give me one words. And so they did that. And I had this hodgepodge of words
Mm-hmm.
about to describe me. And then I just picked out the things that stood out to me
Mm-hmm.
and who I wanted and thought about who I wanted to be seen as in my
Come
business.
on. Come on.
And those were the two words. I wanted to be seen as someone you could trust. I wanted to be seen as someone who you could trust to advise you
Mm-hmm.
on any of the things you're trying to go to work toward when it comes to and it goes past the home for me. Usually my
Mm-hmm.
clients, when I talk to them, we talk about life, them they're where they are, it's not just about the house. So I want to be seen as that person. So that's how that came about. Was just an exercise that I had to do and to find out about, just asking people what they thought about me.
And I'm gonna
Um,
tell you, I love it because, like I said, I think words are very powerful, and I think when we talk about ourselves, oftentimes people lack confidence, and that's one of the things that I pride myself on is being confident, but also helping people to see the confidence in themselves that they either should have or that they know they kind of have, but they need to push it to the forefront. And just seeing that when it said you're a trusted advisor, I'm like, that does transcend just real estate, right? Like it's to me something that's just bigger than that. And so that can go in so many different directions. And I think that that's a powerful statement just to make for people. So what do you want people, when you talk about the legacy, and we don't have to like go a million years in the future, but what do you feel like you would want your legacy to be? Like, what do you want people to say about you?
wow, I would I want people to just remember the experience, how they experienced me,
Mm-hmm.
you know, um, feel like that I took the time
Mm-hmm.
to help them from wherever they were, help them transition, whatever their goal was, whatever that goal was. It may not have been anything, huge or enormous, but wherever they were when they came to me, I want them to be able to say that she helped me get to that next state of wherever I wanted to be,
Mm-hmm.
whatever goal I said I wanted to accomplish at that time. I want them to be able to say, she helped me.
Yeah.
She really helped me. She educated me. She didn't just help me. She
Mm-hmm.
educated me so then I could take this what she gave me and then I can go off and either teach other people or tell someone else or sustain this lifestyle
Mm-hmm.
now, that I have or this new thing that I have in my life. That's what I want people to say and be
Mm-hmm.
able to remember.
Yeah,
Um,
that's powerful, and it's it's a lot of people that don't think like that, right? And so I think when you get to a certain point and you have a background that allows you to be great, right? And you have a village, like you said, that wants to see you succeed. I don't think you really have a choice but to be great, right? I mean, like you could choose something different, but in you just being excellent, you just can't help it, right? Like you just have to shine. It's just something that's out there that allows you to be able to say, not only am I going to shine, but it is enough room for you to do the same thing. And that
yeah,
to me is that's a great legacy to leave. So if people want to reach you, because what we want to do is we want to keep these things just for FYI for anybody that's watching live, or if you watch on the replay, we're trying to keep them to 30 minutes so that this way we can have them be podcast episodes as well. So we have the visuals for you, but then you'll also be able to hear it. So we want to just let people know, where can they find you, Kim?
oh wow. So on Instagram, I am just at Okima McRae, the name on the screen.
All right.
And on Facebook, it's the same, Okima McRae. So I keep it kind of simple. So they won't have to search many places. And
Mhm.
then if you want to visit my website, it is I am generationalwealth.com.
Come on. You see what I'm saying? Do you see how intentional she is, y'all? Like, she's like, let me keep it simple so you can find me. And then, you're telling us what you are. That I am statement is something awesome. And I'm telling you, she is not about no games. I told you she was going to give you something. So tonight, I'm hoping that you were able to, when I say give it to the people, that the people that are listening, whether they're listening to us, on the replay or you're watching us live, I hope that you were able to get a story of transition, a story of triumph, understanding a journey, and then also understanding the growth that takes place. But to me, one of the most important things that you said was asking other people, having other people to help, and then also being willing to let other people know that you needed help, right? Because then it helped you to get exactly where you are. So you had at every stage a helper, right? And I always
Yes.
like to think, when they say you got a helper on the inside. Come on, Holy Ghost. All right. Let's not forget about the Holy Ghost. Okay.
Hear me?
Give us that Holy Ghost spirit. Listen. So I asked the audience, though, I said, did anybody have any questions? But let me just tell you what people said about you. Keisha McKinney said, it's an honor to watch this. Love you, Kim. And then she put hashtag cousin love. Erica
That's right.
said, yes, friend. Nephew TD Maynard said, so proud of you, Kim. Louisa Snipes said, hey, cousin. And she also Miss Tough Girl said, very informative, Okima. And I'm so proud of you. I know it's been a journey, my friend. So when hold on. Carol Holloway also said, hello, my niece, the wonderful Okima McRae, right? It's something magical when you can see the village, up there also. So everybody that tuned in live tonight, I want to thank you so much for tuning in live. Kim, just thank you for being here. Thank you for being willing to share a snippet of your story, because I hope that this does inspire somebody else. So do you want to leave the people with any last words?
Oh, well, first of all, I have to thank the village, because that is like family, friends, like love y'all. Yes. Thank y'all for coming and listening. I appreciate y'all and love y'all very much. But I would say that if I had to leave people with anything as far as like mental wealth is concerned, seek the help and the people that you need. Do not suffer in silence. Don't do it. Even if it's not a therapist, if it's a friend, call on those people that you need. Don't just, get in a corner, get to yourself. I know we have to do that sometimes, but then get yourself out of there and find someone you can talk to. Please.
Yep.
Please do that.
Now,
Do not suffer in silence.
One thing that Kim and I do have in common is she loves the podcast Real Ass Affirmations.
Yes, ma'am.
So, Real Ass Affirmations is my podcast. So, this is my last little shameless plug. And I created it out of that same need to have that conversation, but also as a way to inspire myself and other people to be confident, and also, like you said, to seek help. So I would love for you guys if you can follow realasaffirmations.com. It's new episodes that are out every Monday, and this week we actually put out 2. This week we put out a meditation, just sounds too. So you have that, and you can just, be calm, get into yourself, get into your prayer life, pray, meditate, whatever you need to do during that time. Just be quiet if you need to. And then also, a new episode as well. So we dropped 2 this week, but take that as another place where you can go, and you might have someone to not talk to, but to listen to, and then reflect and kind of talk to yourself too. So check out Real Ass Affirmations. Make sure that you subscribe. And if you are live on YouTube with us, make sure that you subscribe to the channel at chisatv.com. And for everybody else, I just want to tell you, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you always show up and show out, and continue to give it to the people. Thank you so much, Okima McRae.
Thank you, Chisa.
All right, this was wonderful. Like, I really have had a thoroughly great time this evening. So we are going to end with a little teeny weeny bit of music, and then I want to tell you guys, just check us on the next one, okay? All right, like, tonight was good. Kim, did you enjoy yourself?
I did. Oh, girl. Thank you.
You just dance it out, Kim. You want to dance a little bit? Hey. That's that Holy Ghost spirit. Come on, get it. Hit him with the shoulders, hit him with the shoulders, hit him with the shoulders, hit him with the shoulders. Oh, that's that Debbie Allen right there. All right, guys, have a great night.